WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 11.
There is a consensus among Chicago officials that a federal crackdown on immigration is imminent. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. Today kicks off a week-long celebration of Mexican Independence Day. Some community events have been canceled, but a parade today went forward as planned. Dermont Terry is here for you with the latest from Chicago.
Thousands lined the parade route despite new fears of deportation. Olga Cook is a U.S. citizen originally from Mexico.
It is a concern every day going out the house and being with my family or my friends.
Scattered in the crowds, volunteers on the lookout for federal agents, each armed with an orange whistle to send a warning if immigration officials showed up. It was a real possibility following President Trump's ominous social media post.
For the president to come out with these threatening words is disgusting.
President Trump has recently zeroed in on Chicago, criticizing crime levels despite state and federal data showing crime in the Windy City is declining. Chicago police recorded the fewest homicides this summer since 1965. Trump has threatened to send the National Guard to Chicago as he did in Washington, D.C. His Guard deployment to California in June was recently ruled illegal by a federal judge. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker expects the Trump administration will use a different playbook in his state.
And part of their kind of nefarious plan is begin with ICE, cause mayhem on the ground, and by doing that, say that there's a need for military troops on the ground to protect ICE.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is pushing forward with a plan to turn Naval Station Great Lakes, about 50 miles north of Chicago, into an immigration operation staging area. According to an internal government memo obtained by CBS News, the Department of Homeland Security requested roughly 250 agents and 140 vehicles on the base.
Here in Michigan, Republican United States Senate candidate Mike Rogers is urging President Donald Trump to deploy the National Guard to Detroit in response to what he calls a surge in violent crime. In a statement on his campaign website, Rogers urges the mayor of Detroit to call the president for backup, saying Detroit ranks second in the nation for violent crime and soars far above the national average on every barometer, including murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Rogers says he's calling on Mayor Duggan to, quote, make Detroit safe again. A spokesman from the mayor's office issued a statement saying, in part, in 2013, the city of Detroit had more than 750 carjackings. In 2025, we had 57 as of yesterday, a 90% reduction. Our strong partnership with U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon has just added several more federal prosecutors to drive the violence down even further. The historic drop in Detroit crime in recent years has come from the efforts of serious law enforcement professionals, not from non-serious politicians like Rogers, end quote. Now, Congresswoman Haley Stevens, who's running for the U.S. Senate seat as well, responded on Twitter saying, quote, Mike Rogers just called to deploy the National Guard to Detroit. Was wrong in '67 and it's wrong now. This is exactly why I introduced a bill to stop Trump's abuse of power, because this chaos won't stop in someone else's community. It'll come to ours unless we do something. Settlement payments for victims of the Flint water crisis are now getting ready to be handed out. The court-appointed special master for the crisis filed a notice regarding the payment process and timing. It says eligible claimants will receive instructions this fall on how to get their payment through the official Flint water payment portal. As of August 25th, there have been close to 256,000 individuals approved for payment, including more than 13,000 children. Well, dozens of Michiganders showed off their outfits on the runway this evening to raise awareness for suicide prevention. The fashion show was called the Healing Runway, and during the event, people could visit different resource booths and learn more ways to cope with mental health struggles. The organizer says for her, the event is a tribute to those she's lost in her life, including a model that used to work for her. She says many of her models struggle with mental health issues, making the runway walk that much more impactful.
Inspiration started when I lost my husband in November 23. I feel like after that, it showed me how many people suffer in silence. And I just wanted to bridge the gap between mental health and the stigma. This runway is very impactful. We are walking for those who didn't have a chance to walk for themselves.
The organizer urges people to contact the suicide hotline at 988 if you're ever feeling depressed. This event wrapped up at around 8. Dozens of roller derby teams competed today for the kickoff of Skate Wars 2025. The 3-day tournament is held at the Lansing Center, where teams from around the world come to skate. The 24 teams in the tournament will play a minimum of 4 games across 3 tracks. And for most of these skaters, roller derby is more than just competing. Skaters often go by different names to celebrate their identities and cultures. Lynx and Rocks traveled from California to compete and say derby is not only a sport, but a form of community.
It's very empowering. It's a space where, like, you know, especially growing up playing as a kid, it's like no matter what's going on in your life, at school, at home, you can like come to your team and have them, and you know, they lift you up, they make you feel better. And, you know, we all support each other. We all love each other.
Some of my closest friends are from Derby, and I think that's the best thing about it because you find a really big connection with everyone, too.
It's a big family,
yeah.
Always.
The teams will compete in a 2-sided single elimination bracket to determine the tournament winner.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
If you were up bright and early this morning, it was a little bit chilly with temperatures into the 40s and into the 50s as we headed into the rest of the morning. I know I had to have the heated seats on just to get rid of that chill in the car this morning heading into work. Now we're seeing the Capital Cam time lapse at 7 o'clock showing a beautiful sunrise, and we saw plenty of sunshine for the day today. However, we had a little bit of that clouds moving in across the day from time to time, giving us that dreary kind of October feeling rather than the beginning of September. Now temperatures kind of reflected that. As you can see, our skies still remained gray and cloudy, and maybe a little bit of a rain shower here or there into this afternoon. Daytime highs today, average highs should be into the 70s, which is why I was saying we felt a lot more like October rather than September. We're seeing those temperatures today: 62 degrees in Lansing, 63 in Mason, 64 in Jackson, 63 in Charlotte, and 65 degrees in Adrian. It was very crisp and fall-like out there, and we're going to continue to see those temperatures fall back down into the 50s tonight. Around 53 degrees in Lansing right now, 54 in Howell, and 54 degrees down into Jackson. Tonight temperatures are going to remain into the 40s, around 44 degrees with a slight chance of showers, but those showers are starting to push to the east, but we'll stick with those cloudy skies for the rest of tonight. As you can see, those showers are pushing to the east, mainly towards the state line. There are still spotty showers here or there as we head into Sunday morning, but those clouds are going to stick with us. Now as we head into Sunday, we'll still see a mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a pop-up shower here or there, but still going to see warming in the forecast as an area of high pressure starts to move into the Great Lakes. That area of high pressure is going to give us some pretty nice weather over the next couple of days. Sunday we'll still see a mix of clouds and sunshine depending on where you are. We do see the sunny skies by noon, but some clouds working their way in by the afternoon. We'll see the temperatures into the mid-60s, which again is a lot more like October rather than September for this time of year. Typically we should be into the 70s. As we head into the next couple of days, yes, we do have a 5% chance of some rain showers, but it's not going to be anything substantial, which means that our drought conditions are going to increase. As you can see into Clinton and Ionia County, we're in that yellow color, which is that dry, but as you head further into the thumb, we're in that moderate to severe drought, and no rain in the forecast is really going to cause that to continue. But we're going to see these cooler temperatures slowly shift to the east and see some warmer temperatures moving in for the middle to end of the week. Now the 6-day forecast really reflects that as we see those temperatures increasing each and every day into the 70s by Monday and Tuesday, into the 80s by Wednesday and Thursday with plenty of sunshine. So if you have outdoor lunch or even outdoor recess, get outside and enjoy it, as we're going to see those temperatures continuing to be into the 80s into the week after next and into next weekend as well.